Hi everyone, I'm Forbes Riley. Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed your feet or your hands start tingling, they're burning, or maybe they're going numb? Now, I'm not just talking about once in a while, but more often than not. Do you feel like maybe you're walking on pins and needles? Oh, maybe worse, it feels like you're wearing gloves or socks even when you're not. Now, according to doctors, these could all be signs that you're developing neuropathy. Now, doctors define neuropathy as a disease or dysfunction of one or more of the nerves that go out of control in your hands and feet. But what if I told you there's a potential solution? Now, one that requires no surgery and no downtime. Now, with this type of cutting-edge natural solution, imagine that you are once again able to live your life to the fullest. I mean, you can enjoy all those things that you thought were not possible, like maybe playing with your children, enjoying your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, maybe playing a round of golf, or just enjoying a good night's sleep. So let's get started by meeting my very first guest. Dr. Hartz, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, tell me about your mission.
I am on a mission to help people across this country understand that there are now workable and effective solutions to treating the cause, not just the symptoms, of your neuropathy in a very safe fashion.
Because there's so much pain associated with neuropathy, isn't there?
The pain is tremendous, and it's different than most other pains. It actually has specific names associated that are associated with no other pains.
And so you tell me this is not something that you typically study in medical school?
Neuropathy is just cursorily mentioned in medical school. You know that it's there, you're told that there's virtually no treatment for it. That's basically what we end up. Now, I went to medical school a long time ago, but even students to this day don't learn about treatment of neuropathy, and pretty much everything you read or hear is that it's not a treatable condition. And so the symptoms are managed with medications.
So odds are if you're going to your typical doctor, they might not know all the treatments available.
They won't know any, really. Except for a very few specialists in neurology, rheumatology, the patient will be treated with opiates. They may be treated with a couple of other mood-altering medications that are controlled substances also. But the newer treatments, they know very little about. The usual patient will have seen multiple doctors before they arrive at a practice that understands neuropathy and its current treatment.
Tell me about your background.
I was very fortunate to go to college in the first place. Virtually no one in my poverty-ridden community in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, no girls went to college. I was fortunate to go and be able to pay for it myself. There was no money to pay for college for a girl. Subsequently, I was accepted at Northwestern University Medical School and several others. I decided to stay in Chicago and have been very grateful for that decision ever since. And I started in pediatrics because that's what women did then. There were no women cardiac surgeons. There were very few women general surgeons. Matter of fact, even today, cardiothoracic surgery is a specialty that has the fewest number of women of any specialty on the planet. In any event, I finished my year of pediatric internship and was pretty aggressive, and I ended up wanting to do procedures and really taking care of the problem, very immediate gratification type of therapy. So I switched surgery, subsequently cardiac surgery, subsequently fellowship and this, that, and the other. And I practiced cardiothoracic surgery up to the level of professor with tenure of cardiac surgery and chairman at the University of Illinois.
Also board certified, also training doctors. I mean, your credentials are extraordinary.
Fortunately for me, I was referred to a huge pain practice. At a time in my life when I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I have to work. And I ended up working in this very large health and wellness clinic, learning things I'd never heard of in medical school. Then did the neuropathy training through this group.
So when a patient's experiencing tingling and they go to their doctor, what can they expect?
Generally, they will go to a GP or a family practice doctor or even just an outpatient clinic or an urgent care clinic because of pain. And generally, none of those physicians or practitioners will understand what neuropathy is and how to treat it. Therefore, the patient hopefully will be referred to a rheumatologist or neurologist, and even then, the diagnosis frequently is not completed. There are many causes of neuropathy. Some can be treated with surgery, such as that coming from your spine, radiculopathy. But what we're talking about today, the usual neuropathy of the peripheral nerves, That is not treated with surgery and is generally treated with very strong medications. And that's what will happen to the patient until they find a neuropathy specialist.
Now, I'm very excited. You left a very major career to focus on this. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing in many ways. I tried other specialties between cardiac surgery and non-drug pain management, and this one fit me. This is a way to provide care to the patients at very low cost, very effective treatment, very few side effects, and there are many, many, many forms of therapy that I'm so gratified that I've probably helped more patients in non-drug pain treatment than I did with cardiac surgery.
Wow. So Dr. Hartz, right now we're going to hear an amazing testimonial.
The doctors asked me what my pain level was, and it was always a 7 to a 9 until I went to see Dr. Hartz. At that point, I found great relief. My pain level is 0 most of the time. I would suggest it for anyone to use if you have neuropathy because it does help a lot. It's the only thing I have found that helps.
So you must feel fantastic when you see those stories.
Absolutely fantastic. Patients often relay that they're no longer stumbling. They're no longer afraid of hitting the wrong pedal when they're driving. They can even play golf and tennis. And in addition, they no longer have to suffer from the side effects of their medication and can enjoy their families and their grandchildren as they never have been able to for years.
Dr. Hartz, has your involvement with neuropathy affected how you treat patients?
Not only has it dramatically involved the way I treat patients, but it has rekindled my passion for medicine, for science, for learning what is the correct thing to do, for writing papers. Every day is fantastic, and every day a new patient calls that heard about our program, and it's very gratifying.
What exactly is neuropathy? And I had always heard about it being associated with diabetes.
Neuropathy is damage to the nerves, and diabetes definitely causes damage to the nerves. A high glucose results in a low oxygen environment, the nerves become damaged. However, as opposed to the usual generally held opinion that diabetes is the most common cause of neuropathy, from my research and from my reviewing all the literature, diabetes is far from the most common cause. A very common cause of severe neuropathy, for example, is chemotherapy.
Oh, wow. So you've got cancer patients who are suffering with this as well.
Yes.
So anybody out there watching right now who is diabetic, going through any kind of cancer treatment, stands a chance of developing neuropathy?
That's absolutely correct. And pretty much with certain chemotherapeutic agents, the neuropathy is 100%. In other words, we should be developing preventive treatments for it.
So you're saying that the cause of neuropathy isn't necessarily the same for everybody. In fact, if I've got neck or back pain, that could have something to do with my neuropathy?
That's absolutely correct. There are so many different causes. The bottom line is that just like if we were deprived of oxygen in our lungs, we would die. That's what's happening at the level of the microcirculation and the nerves in neuropathy.
This actually sounds very logical and very promising for people who are suffering, but it makes me really question why people are just focused on the symptoms and not the cause.
That's exactly why I'm on this mission, to get the word out that there are alternatives that might finally make you not only feel better, but address the cause of your neuropathy, so that you and other people will truly have a chance to heal. Just because your symptoms might improve doesn't mean you've eliminated the cause of the problem. It could come back with a vengeance.
So here's my big question. How come more people don't know about this?
The time has finally come where there's an emerging body of evidence, a critical mass of evidence, and a lot of science behind this evidence. But unless you're a doctor who's truly committed to finding the cause of the patient's neuropathy, how would you possibly know all this information? So what we've done is made it much easier for you to understand the causes and symptoms of neuropathy and its treatment so that everyone has the opportunity to benefit.
So how can we learn more?
Forbes, I would love to invite you and everyone watching who wants to feel better for a consultation. We will educate you about what your options are.
So here's what we're asking you to do. Simply come for a consultation. If you're suffering from pain, numbness, tingling, or having trouble with balance or walking, tell us your story. Learn from our neuropathy team whether you're a good candidate, and then you get to decide for yourself. So if you or somebody you love is still suffering, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy, tingling, stabbing, shooting, numbness, loss of balance, or cramping in your hands and your feet? You may think that you have tried everything and been told there is nothing you can do. That is not true anymore. There is a very successful therapy that can alleviate pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. Currently, this therapy is being used all over the world by tens of thousands of people and really offers a solution for people with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. This therapy can offer long-lasting anti-inflammatory effects on your nerves and your muscles. Plus, it's also FDA cleared. You can finally enjoy all those things you thought were not possible. Imagine playing with your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, or even playing a round of golf. Call the number on your screen to schedule a free consultation with one of our approved clinics.
So we've heard from Dr. Hartz, and I am very excited to find out that there are actually treatments for neuropathy. My next guest you're going to want to listen to is not only a doctor of medicine, but he's also an inventor. Please welcome Dr. Phillips.
Thank you.
How are you? Good handshake.
Just great.
Now, you have a very impressive background. Tell me about it.
Well, I invent devices, medical devices, for a need for my family. I've done that for 35 years.
But yeah, you started out as a doctor of psychology,
Yes. Well, yes.
and then you transitioned to,
MD.
really, from Harvard.
Yes, both. So I teach doctors now. I teach for 2 colleges. I teach doctors about neuropathy and how to treat it.
How do you describe neuropathy?
Neuropathy is a dysfunction in the nerves. Neuro meaning nerves, apathy meaning something, a problem.
How do people develop this condition?
Diabetes is a major cause of it. Statins, many times MDs will prescribe statins for everybody to reduce their cholesterol. Once it reduces the cholesterol in your arteries, it looks for other places and it strips the cholesterol off of your nerves and they start shorting out.
And so most people experience it in their hands and feet.
Yes.
You went one step further and said, I'm going to build something to help this.
Just to numb the nerves wasn't going to do it. I wanted to actually heal the nerves. And the way I invent all my devices is I give it to my mind and then I kind of forget about it. And then it appears to me fully formed, like a 3-dimensional hologram. And I see it and then I reverse engineer it.
Now, most people would think that you can't rebuild a nerve.
That's what they think, but obviously you can.
So as we continue to hear amazing stories, this one is going to want you to pick up the phone. Take a look at this.
My sister has known that I've had problems with my feet because of the neuropathy. What I have found is I have movement back in my feet that I haven't had in a long time. But a lot of the tingling is gone, the shooting pains are gone, and I feel the color, and I think, if nothing else, the circulation is coming back.
Explain what you created here.
I created a device that analyzes the waveform, the electrical waveform. Nerves transmit their information via electricity. And it's a waveform, just like an EKG, if you've seen in the hospital TV shows, there's an EKG and it's got the little wavy lines. From that, I can look at that and determine which of your 4 chambers is not working right, how long a signal it's got, does it have a strong enough signal. I can analyze from that, but that's just for the heart. This does the same thing. It's like a pacemaker or an EKG for your feet or your hands. It analyzes the waveform and says, that's not right. And then it corrects it, sends a compensating waveform, kind of like a Bose noise-canceling headphone.
How does somebody first know they have neuropathy?
Usually feel a tingling in their toes or their fingers. Then it can progress to a soreness, a burning. Then it can produce sharp stabbing pains. And then after a while it goes to numbness.
Okay, so I'm going to step up here and say I actually have an issue with my foot. I don't know how nerve-related it is, but it's a pain that comes and goes, and I went to my doctor, and he prescribed orthotics, and that's all he did. I still suffer with this pain on a regular basis. Explain how your machine does what it does.
All right. Well, we put a little Epsom salts in there to make the water more conductive.
Okay.
You just put your feet in that. Feel it first. It's just warm water.
Oh, this is nice. I've never done this on a show. I like it.
And then we take the 2 electrodes and we just drop it in the water.
Okay.
Signal now goes to the water, so the water becomes the electrode. It's warm water, so it causes the veins to get bigger. This is the device. It's powered by a 9-volt transistor radio battery.
Now, I was warned about electricity and water. I'm not going to get frizzy
But that's
hair.
why it's operated by battery. And when I turn it on and off, you won't feel anything.
Okay.
I give it to you.
Okay.
Now you turn it on.
Okay,
And
that's
keep
the
going up,
intensity.
keep going up till you feel a tingle.
Okay. Okay, I feel a tingle. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, as you feel it tingle, just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And continue to turn it up higher and higher. And what will happen is your calf muscles will even start to jiggle. They'll contract at the same rate as if you were running, which is propelling more blood. So you're getting more blood supply.
Right.
And we're now fixing those nerves.
Because increased blood supply starts to begins the healing process, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
well, once we start to heal, the body doesn't need to heal, then it needs to have blood to do it. Then as you start to heal, you create metabolic byproducts. Then you need the veins to take the metabolic byproducts away. The way the blood gets back up to the heart is by muscle contraction. So it goes away from the heart by arteries and back up through your veins. So that's why we use the warm water to open the capillaries. We stimulate the leg muscles to propel the blood back up. Meanwhile, this is doing its electrical job of sending signals from each nerve to another.
So if somebody's suffering with neuropathy and have pain in their feet, how long before they can feel relief?
Well, let me ask you right now, do you feel anything in your feet? It's usually instantaneous.
I have no pain whatsoever. I feel a little tingly. It feels great.
Right, but there's
And-
no pain, and you can adjust it to wherever you want.
Right. No, I mean, it feels wonderful. How
Now,
often
when we're
do I
done, this is about a 30-minute treatment, the machine will actually go off.
Right.
Then we'll dry off your feet, and you can stand up and move them around, and you'll see that you will have no pain. It lasts usually for about 4 to 6 hours, the first treatment.
So if you're as intrigued as I am and you want to learn more, it's easy. All you need to do is call the number on your screen, and we're going to set up a consultation with a doctor to talk about what your options are.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy, tingling, stabbing, shooting, numbness, loss of balance, or cramping in your hands and your feet? You may think that you have tried everything and been told there is nothing you can do. That is not true anymore. There is a very successful therapy that can alleviate pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. Currently, this therapy is being used all over the world by tens of thousands of people and really offers a solution for people with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. This therapy can offer long-lasting anti-inflammatory effects on your nerves and your muscles. Plus, it's also FDA cleared. You can finally enjoy all those things you thought were not possible. Imagine playing with your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, or even playing a round of golf. Call the number on your screen to schedule a free consultation with one of our approved clinics.
So if you start off and the pain level is an 8 out of 10, then during the next 4 hours, it's almost 0. After that, it comes down to maybe a 6.
Wait, so do you know how valuable this is?
We probably have, maybe 10,000 doctors using it, maybe 60, 70,000 people using it around the world. Cancer Treatment Centers of America use it because chemotherapy also induces neuropathy. It kills any cells that are acting fast. Nerves act fast. So they use it to counteract the effects of the chemotherapy.
So let me get this straight here, because I just went to my foot doctor for a nerve issue, right? He never mentioned there might be a system like this that could actually take away my pain.
Right. I haven't quite figured out how that is since we're 28 years in the market.
Well, but that's one reason we're doing the show here, is to educate people that there are options available out there that they don't know about.
Right.
And this seems pretty remarkable to me. So you use this 1 or 2 times a day. Can I only get this through my doctor?
It's a prescription device, so your doctor needs to write a prescription.
At some point, when I keep doing this, does my pain dissipate to almost nothing?
Oh, absolutely. The whole idea is to make your pain go away, or the numbness. See, normally if you have pain and you take drugs, it numbs everything.
Right.
And that's not so good. It numbs your heart, your breathing, you have memory issues, sexual issues, all kinds of things. So the drugs aren't the answer.
So if you're as intrigued as I am and you want to learn more, it's easy. All you need to do is call the number on your screen, and we're going to set up a consultation with a doctor to talk about what your options are.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy, tingling, stabbing, shooting, numbness, loss of balance, or cramping in your hands and your feet? You may think that you have tried everything and been told there is nothing you can do. That is not true anymore. There is a very successful therapy that can alleviate pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. Currently, this therapy is being used all over the world by tens of thousands of people and really offers a solution for people with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. This therapy can offer long-lasting anti-inflammatory effects on your nerves and your muscles. Plus, it's also FDA cleared. You can finally enjoy all those things you thought were not possible. Imagine playing with your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, or even playing a round of golf. Call the number on your screen to schedule a free consultation with one of our approved clinics.
So I had diabetic neuropathy in my feet, and it was pretty bad because I'd say on like a pain level, it was like roughly like an 8 or 9. Dr. Kim's treatment, and thought I'd give that a try. And after going through it, after about a year, I'm pretty much pain-free in my feet now. And now, I mean, I'm back to where I used to be, being able to stand for 8 to 12 hours a day. So I'd like to thank Dr. Kim just for informing me about all this. It's been a godsend.
All right, if you want to reach one of our doctors to find out how you can potentially be pain-free, I mean, this is something I've never seen before, and odds are maybe you haven't either. All you need to do right now, there's a number on your screen or website, reach out to us to find out how you too can be pain-free.
I was a golfer when I was in high school, and I didn't understand why some of my shots were fantastic and others were not. And I actually had one leg that was structurally shorter than the other. And so when I was going through my follow-through, sometimes I missed the ball. So I ended up going to a chiropractor later and was able to help align my hips. And that made all the difference in the world. I also found out at that time that I had spina bifida, which is a birth defect. And it really shouldn't affect you at all. However, I ended up having disc herniations, and it was all gathered in that particular area. I was not able to continue playing golf. When I first started using the Rebuilder, my pain can be anywhere from a 9 to 11. It would be unbearable. And then after I started doing the therapy, it kept getting better and better and better. And now my pain consistently is between a 1 and a 3. So for me, it has been absolutely fabulous, and I could not be surviving without it.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy, tingling, stabbing, shooting, numbness, loss of balance, or cramping in your hands and your feet? You may think that you have tried everything and been told there is nothing you can do. That is not true anymore. There is a very successful therapy that can alleviate pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. Currently, this therapy is being used all over the world by tens of thousands of people and really offers a solution for people with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. This therapy can offer long-lasting anti-inflammatory effects on your nerves and your muscles. Plus, it's also FDA cleared. You can finally enjoy all those things you thought were not possible. Imagine playing with your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, or even playing a round of golf. Call the number on your screen to schedule a free consultation with one of our approved clinics.
But you also have a very personal story you want to tell me about.
I have so many, but one particular man, very young, with a severe autoimmune peripheral neuropathy, has been to all the major medical centers in Chicago, has had the highest level of neurologic testing, and unrepenting, unremitting neuropathy, helped really only by our therapy. This man has outlived the life expectancy of his known condition in a reasonable fashion. He can walk. When the weather's particularly good, he actually has a wonderful day. I can never get him out of my mind. I think about him almost every day.
I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, it started as a little sensation on the bottom of my foot, just like a little irritant. And each month we would get a little bit worse, until it came to a point now where I have extreme difficulty in walking. So the doctors told me I was going to have to be in a wheelchair after 6 months. And all my doctors have told me this, and it's been 3 years at least, and I'm still not in a wheelchair. What else can I say? I'm happy with the Rebuilder, and I would recommend anybody who has pain like this, use it. Give it a try. There's nothing else out there that I found that's going to work better.
Because prior to this, he had no hope.
No hope. He was in such intense pain and also had severe stresses in his family that worsened the condition. And he is particularly delighted now because spring is coming. He'll have hopefully a lot more good time.
So someone listening to that story right now who says, I've tried everything, what are you going to tell them?
I am begging you, if you have any of the symptoms we've discussed today, to seek medical attention now for 2 reasons. Neuropathy is a progressive condition. It will not get better on its own. It will not get better with the medications you are taking to treat the symptoms. Secondly, the longer this condition goes untreated, the greater the nerve damage and the harder it becomes to treat the cause and the symptoms of the disease.
If somebody that you know is suffering from pain, numbness, tingling, you need to take action right now. There's a number on your screen, and there are solutions available that perhaps your doctor never thought to tell you about. Your health is your responsibility. Please do it for us and people that you love. Don't wait.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy, tingling, stabbing, shooting, numbness, loss of balance, or cramping in your hands and your feet? You may think that you have tried everything and been told there is nothing you can do. That is not true anymore. There is a very successful therapy that can alleviate pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. Currently, this therapy is being used all over the world by tens of thousands of people and really offers a solution for people with pain associated with peripheral neuropathy. This therapy can offer long-lasting anti-inflammatory effects on your nerves and your muscles. Plus, it's also FDA cleared. You can finally enjoy all those things you thought were not possible. Imagine playing with your grandchildren, taking a walk on the beach, or even playing a round of golf. Call the number on your screen to schedule a free consultation with one of our approved clinics.
Dr. Hartz, we have a person who's very, very dear to both of us who suffered from neuropathy and did not listen to your advice. What happened?
Yes, this patient initially did follow the treatment protocol, but it didn't last long. And he lapsed into his old lifestyle. He's a diabetic. And eventually, his neuropathy progressed to the point where he required amputation of his leg. During the few years that I interacted with this patient friend, I begged him to use the methods. I even offered to deliver them myself. I recommended various diets. But like we've said today, don't procrastinate. Act now.
So Dr. Hartz, right now we're going to hear an amazing testimonial.
Oh, I used to be in a lot of pain. My pain went from, I'd say, 9, 10 down to about 3.
Dr. Hartz, I want to thank you for the education, for the knowledge, and for the help that you're doing for so many people. You know, I've been doing this a very long time, and I'm going to say that this may be the most important broadcast I've ever been a part of. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the compliment and having me.
So here's what we're asking you to do. Simply come for a consultation. If you're suffering from pain, numbness, tingling, or having trouble with balance or walking, tell us your story. Learn from our neuropathy team whether you're a good candidate, and then you get to decide for yourself. So if you or somebody you love is still suffering, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity.